Hi, I'm Trish, and this is Beanbag Hagwag. Today I wanted to take part in the hashtag that's going around called #OccultTea. It was created by Ella Harrison and the Red-Headed Witch and the Polish Folk Witch. I haven't seen their videos yet. I plan to. The first one I saw was London Smith, and I was very intrigued by the questions. I've seen Justin the Witch of Enchantment do this, and this morning I watched Jasmine Ambrosia do this hashtag. It's rather long, so I'm just going to kind of get into it. It's really long. Everybody I've seen do this, it's been an hour or over, so let's just start. Okay, so first the introduction. Hi, I'm Trish, and I have a channel called Beanbag Hagwag, and I've been participating in the online witchcraft occult space for many years, but I didn't start my channel until 2017, so I haven't been around that long. What do I share? I share everything. Okay, so most of my magic happens outside of the witchy room. So I share, I share everything. I share things that happen in here, but mostly my day-to-day life and the magic that happens in the mundane world, things I do, places I go. So it's less of a witchcraft channel, more of a witchy lifestyle channel, I guess I would say. So there are many topics. I think there's 4 or 5. And within each topic is a bunch of bullet points. The first topic is impact on community. What is my personal reasoning or inspiration behind sharing my practice? When I began sharing my practice, it was to engage, and it was to connect and share my thoughts. We all have things to share. We all have a voice, and I wanted to use mine. I'm an older witch, and I have kept my spiritual life and witchcraft. Before my channel, it was all kind of on the down low. And when I came out of the broom closet, I hate to call it that because there's only one real closet I ever came out of, and it didn't have a broom. So when I began to not hide who I was, I felt comfortable in sharing on the online space. And it was where I found community. I used to engage in the comment section before I had a channel, and it wasn't enough for me. I wanted to actually share my thoughts and have people share theirs with me in my comment section, which is fucking awesome. My comment section, sometimes I'm amazed at the comments I get and the engagement that happens there. What am I looking to achieve? Do I seek to educate, learn, or connect? Okay, I don't educate. I learn a little bit. I used to learn a lot on YouTube, but now most of the things I learn are from experience and from the outside. That's where my learning happens. But I do connect here with others, and that if I didn't have the connection, if I didn't have people leaving comments and engaging with me, there would be no point in me having a channel. So that's my favorite part. How do I believe social media as a whole has impacted the community? Okay, I think it can be like there's 2 sides to this coin. I've seen some bullshit happen in the online community, and I usually try to stay out of it. In my own case, it has impacted me immensely in a positive way. If I didn't have the social media platform, if I didn't have people to watch, there's a whole lot I wouldn't know. There's a whole lot of people I would have never met. And do I think social media platforms such as TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube have each impacted education and sharing information? I am never on TikTok. I've never been on TikTok. I have no interest in it. I do like to scroll through Instagram once in a while, but mainly YouTube is my main platform that I use. It's where I find information, and it's where I connect with people. That's basically it for me. You can learn a lot on YouTube. There are a lot of educational channels here. But you have to be wary of who you're watching and who you're getting the information from. And basically that comes from experience. It comes from getting burned once in a while. In the past, I've put people on a pedestal that they didn't belong on. And when they don't belong there, you soon learn that they don't belong there. And it's time to kick them off that pedestal. You just have to learn through experience who to listen to and who to not listen to. There's a lot of crap on YouTube. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of bullshit on all of it. And yeah, you just have to kind of look for the needle in the haystack is all I can say. And is consuming witchcraft content becoming a substitute for practice? All I can speak for is my life. And for me, no, it doesn't have anything to do with what my practice looks like. I engage with the YouTube community for connection. I am here for connection. I'm here for the friendships that develop. And it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. But it is not my whole practice. So let's move on to the second. Okay, so the second topic is influencer authenticity. So out of what I share on social media, how much of it is staged versus reality? Staging would take a really long time, right? So when I'm sharing things, it's usually when I'm out and about and I have my camera out. It's just little pieces of my life. I might share a spell. In fact, recently I did share a spell, but it was just little snippets of the spell. Yeah, so in my case, it's pretty much what you see is what you get. How do I decipher what is appropriate to share or what to keep privately? Okay, so I share a lot. I share a lot of my life. But I don't share a lot of the ritual. I don't share a lot of the spell work. Not because I think you shouldn't. There's a lot of people who do. I kind of dig watching it sometimes. But when I'm sharing my spell work, you're not seeing the whole thing. Like I'll set up my camera. If I need a clip of my spell work, or perhaps me in meditation or something, I might put my camera on, but you're not going to see the whole thing. You're going to see like this much of the whole thing. Have I ever encountered or heard of grifters? Okay, so yeah, nobody is going to go in your DMs to give you a reading if they're worth any if somebody's reading is worth anything at all, they're not going to come at you in your DMs. They're, how do I put that nicely? Okay, so, when you open your, like, say your Instagram or whatever, and there's somebody with the same phrase as you heard yesterday, pretending to be somebody else. Okay, if you fall for that by now, it's been happening for so long, it's your own fault. Nobody worth a grain of salt is going to DM you to give you a reading. If you want a reading from somebody, get it from somebody you know. I don't know any professional reader who would go in your DMs and try to solicit. And if they do, they're not worth the money. Right there. Yeah. What tools are helpful to decipher misinformation? How can we as a community prevent widespread misinformation? I don't know how to answer that question because there's a million books and there's a million channels, and not everybody has great information in those books or channels. And I'll say once again, you learn who to listen to through experience. I know most of this kind of thing happens on TikTok, I think, or even on Instagram. I don't find a lot of that here on YouTube because I don't follow channels like that. If I find that something isn't ringing true to me, I'll go search elsewhere. I think you just have to learn through experiences and figure it out for yourself. How does a large following impact the perception of their creator? Does this immediately make them an expert? Oh my God, no. No. Okay, because like there is a well-known content creator who has a lot of followers. Once I heard her say that witchcraft can cure mental illness. And right there, I knew this is not somebody I want to get my information from. I think that's irresponsible and it's not true. I mean, it might have helped this person cure her mental illness, but come on. Mental illness is a thing. Don't fuck with people. It's so important. And if you've really had problems with mental health, you're not going to tell somebody that witchcraft has cured your mental illness. I'm sorry, it's so unhealthy to do that. It's so dangerous. How does one maintain the balance of authenticity and content creation? Well, I don't have a problem with that because all of my content creation is just sharing parts of my life. And it's not just the good stuff. Let me tell you, if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know that my life is not perfect. My house is not grand or beautiful. You can tell who's authentic and who's not. It's just something you can tell. I don't have a problem maintaining balance. I mean, look at me. I don't have makeup on. Sometimes I am coming right out of bed. Sometimes I look great. Sometimes I'll do my hair. Sometimes I'll do my makeup. But yeah, this is authentic, guys. Right? Okay, so these questions are really deep, and I don't know if I'm doing them justice. I guess maybe I should have prepared, but I kind of thought it would be more authentic if I didn't prepare. And now I'm wondering why I did that. Okay, so topic 3, imposter syndrome and FOMO, FOMO. Right, I'm going to tell you. I watched Justin, the Witch of Enchantment, do this, and I had to quick go look up what FOMO meant. What does FOMO mean? Yeah, I'm an older gal. I don't know all the lingo. So the first bullet point, when I follow other creators in the community space, does it make me feel genuinely inspired and empowered, or does it create feelings of FOMO and being less than? I feel inspired. I have such a wonderful life. I mean, even with all the shit, I have such a wonderful practice. I have everything I need. And I never feel less than. I think that's something you might grow into. Possibly when I first started, maybe. But no. If I experience FOMO, has it ever left me feeling vulnerable to be taken? No, I have never dealt with FOMO because I have everything I could possibly want or need in my life. It's not perfect, but I'm grateful for everything. Yeah, I'm not looking to fit in, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I have my own special brand of heathenry. I have my own little niche, and I fit perfectly there, and I'm not looking to fit into any other person's space. I don't need to. When practicing my craft, do I find myself comparing what I do to what I've seen people do online? I sometimes do compare, like how somebody does a spell, or how somebody might use a tool. Yeah, I do compare. And I mean, it's a good thing to do sometimes because I learn how to do things and see things in a different way, perhaps. In what ways do I combat imposter syndrome? I only have dealt with imposter syndrome once, and that was not so long ago when Sonia commented one time on one of my videos, and it was after I've been going through a horrible time. Last year was horrible. And she said, "You have a beautiful life." And right away I thought, what am I showing people that they think I have a beautiful life? I felt imposter syndrome in that moment, but then I thought about it, and I do have a beautiful life. So, um, yeah, no imposter syndrome, no FOMO. Like, I'm I'm a woman of a certain age. I don't need to compete with anybody. I don't need to have the latest things. I've been collecting things for so many years that there's nothing I could possibly need to fit in. No. In what ways so what would my practice look like without social media influence of other creators? Oh, so totally different though, right? Because I have learned so much from YouTube creators. I mean, not just in the witchy space. I've learned how to do so many things in my house. I learned when I first started watching YouTube, it was back in the Tiptoe Chick days. I learned so much from her. And everything I've learned has just kind of contributed to the beautiful practice I have right now. Um, so it would look totally different. It would be, I don't even know, without having YouTube as a way to connect with other witches. I don't even know, I have no idea what my practice would look like. I don't know that I'd even be on this same path, um, because I would have felt so alone without this YouTube witchy space. Not that I need validation, but especially in the beginning, it did validate some of my beliefs and some of my practices. And it made me feel less alone. If I couldn't have found the community I was looking for here, I have no idea what my practice would look like, but it wouldn't, I don't think it would be quite so, um, I don't think I'd feel as confident about what I do and how I practice if it wasn't for others showing me how they practice and what their beliefs are. God, does that make any sense at all? Topic number 4, capitalizing off community. Do I consider online communities as equally valid to in-person communities? Okay, so I have witches in the in-person community. I've met several witches from the online community. One of my best girlfriends is a witch. So I it is wonderful to have on in-person people you can share things with and do things with. And it's wonderful to have witches that you can actually shake their hand or give them a hug. But you know what? If you don't have that, the online space is so wonderful. And in that case, it is equally valid. I have some of the greatest relationships with people that I have never met face to face. My life would be less than if I didn't have their friendship that came from online. How have online occult witchcraft communities impacted me as a person and practitioner? And that's just it. The online community has impacted me greatly because I have wonderful relationships with so many online people. Not all of them are content creators, but so I work for Sabbath Social, and that's an online thing. And I have wonderful relationships of that online community. I have wonderful relationships with the people who are in my community, and I okay, so there's the community, right? But I don't pay attention to that because I have my own little community. And when I talk about community, I mean the people who watch me, comment on my videos, interact with me, engage, share things with me. That's my community. It's the people I watch. It's the people who watch me. It's the people who I engage with. And they've impacted me as a person greatly. People kind of poo-poo your online stuff, like it's not real, but I have some very real friendships with people online. I mean, I have witches in my own community here that I could just as easily get together with, but it's easier for me to get together sometimes with the people online than it is to get together with some of the witches I know in person. Some of the witches I know in person don't watch my channel. They don't know what's going on in my life. They don't share in that the way my online people do. So yeah, I have really good friends who I share things with who are witches, but just the same in the in-person community, there are people who don't give a fuck about me, right? Who don't have time for me. So in that case, my online community, I have that's impacted me more than those people who could care less in the real world here. What are some of the dangers of the current phenomenon of capitalizing off the witchcraft community? Have I been personally affected by this, or have I witnessed someone else being affected? Should there be paywalls in the online community? Should there be online courses? Okay, so it talks about workshops and people making money off of you, whatever. I think if you can make money off of doing what you love, you should. So I have a shop and I sell witchy implements, spiritual implements, along with my art. So I've made money off of selling my witchy goods, but I've also purchased. Most of my witchy goods come from small shops. They come from witchy shops that I want to invest in. I would rather buy something from a small business owner in the witchy community than buy it on Amazon. I think it's important to support our witchy community that way if I can. Just like when I buy groceries, I would rather go to a small mom and pop shop to get my groceries than a great big store. Now, sometimes I have to go to a great big store because I'm not a rich woman, but I would rather support the small business owners than. So, should there be paywalls, online courses? Yeah, there should. There should. People should be able to go purchase from whoever they want to purchase from, and you should be able to sell whatever you want to sell. You're putting your time and your effort into it. Why should that be free? I think as long as you can make your living off of doing something you love, go for it. If somebody decides they don't want it or don't like it, they don't have to purchase from you. Now, I'll start right out by saying I support the small business owners and such, but as far as getting Patreon, I won't pay for that. I'm not going to pay. I don't think anybody has anything that is more valuable to share in that space than here. I can find 5 people here telling me the same thing that you would be telling me on Patreon. So no, I don't, but I am not, I, I don't have a Patreon either. So how do I sound that without sounding bitchy? Like, I'll always purchase my witchy goods from a small witchy shop before a large one. I'll pay for a reading. I will pay for witchy goods and tools and candles and such, but I am not going to pay. Oh God, how can I say this without sounding like a bitch? I don't know. Why do I need to watch somebody's Patreon video before they put it on YouTube. A lot of people do that. They'll do their Patreon video, but they won't share it with YouTube until later. Okay, it's not worth money to me to see it before somebody else does. I don't care. I don't care. So I love the small businesses. I love that. But I don't need to be a member of your YouTube channel. I don't need to be a member of somebody's Patreon. I just don't. I don't. I'm not going to pay for you to talk. But I will buy your stuff. If you make a beautiful candle that I like, I'm going to buy it. And I don't expect somebody to pay for me to talk either. Yeah. I don't know. So the conclusions. What are some of the topics of conversations I'd like to see more of so this is my favorite part, I guess. What are the topics of conversation I'd like to see more of in our community? I want to see your life outside of the witchy room, okay? I don't need to watch your altar tour. I don't need to see a witchy room tour. Yeah, sometimes they're fun, whatever. I've done them before, whatever. But God, it's so boring and it's the same thing over and over again. Show me the magic outside your door. Show me the magic in your kitchen. Show me the magic, show me the magic in the everyday things outside of the witchy room. God, I've said that so much lately. Get out of the witchy room. Get out of there and go make magic out there. And show me that. It's so beautiful to see somebody living their faith instead of just preaching about it. What are my community needs? I just need the engagement. I need the conversation. I need the engagement. Where would I like to feel more held or supported? Where do I feel like I'm not being truly seen in my community? I feel so held and supported by those who watch my channel and comment on my videos. I am so held and supported in my comments that it's almost unbelievable to me how kind and supportive people can be there. When I watch somebody's videos, I always leave a comment. I want you to know I watched your video. I want you to know how I felt about it, if it inspired me. And when somebody comments on mine, I will always comment back because somebody took time out of their day to watch me live my life and to share in my life. You take the time to do that, you deserve more than a heart or a thumbs up. You deserve to be heard. I will always comment or reply to a comment. And I think that's important. It's important to me. And I think that's why my comment section is rocking, because people know I read it. And people know that because I always reply with more than a heart or a thumbs up. People took the time out of their day to spend with me and to comment on my video. And I think that's deserving of a reply. Yeah, if I engage with you on your videos and you never engage back, I'm not going to keep watching. It's just that simple. You're not teaching me anything I can't learn from somebody who can have a conversation with me. Now, granted, maybe I have a small channel. How can we help each other in removing the external peer pressure and grow in the community? I think that comes with experience once again, and age, and Like, I don't have peer pressure because I'm old. I'm going to be 60. There aren't a lot of 60-year-olds. There aren't a lot of 60-year-olds giving me peer pressure. We are so way past the peer pressure that, I mean, I guess I can see it in the younger community because sometimes when you're younger, you need to fit in somewhere. And I just don't care anymore about that kind of stuff. I'm old, you guys, and there aren't a lot of old people doing this. Not a lot of people my age, not enough people my age anyway. And we are so far past the peer pressure crap. But I know that younger witches do possibly deal with the peer pressure. And all I can say is, in my case, I want to support you. I want to lift you up. I want to help you succeed. I want to, like, if there's a new witch and I like her content, I am going to share it. That was given to me when I started my channel. And we're all here for a reason. We all are here to share what we have to say. And it's a scary thing when you're first starting to do this. I think we need to support each other and support the younger ones just coming into it, or the new creators just coming into it, because why not? Why not? How can we, as a community, come together with more constructive criticism without seeming shady, passive-aggressive? Well, I think it's by not being shady or passive-aggressive. Why do you gotta be that way? Can't you just be kind? If somebody criticizes me with kindness, that's way different than if somebody's just being a bitch. Like, and I've had somebody just be a bitch before, and yeah, just don't be shady. Don't be passive aggressive. And how can we as a community do better when we receive criticism? When I receive criticism, if it's done in a bitchy way, I'll ignore the fuck out of ya. And if it's not, if it's done with kindness, I'll take it into consideration. But who am I to give anybody advice? Who am I to criticize somebody else's practice? Why do you need to criticize somebody else's practice? We all have our own way of doing things, and can't you just watch somebody do it one way, and then, if you resonate with it, do it that way. If you don't, move on. I just don't understand the need to give constructive criticism. I didn't ask for it, so don't. There are a lot of YouTubers who are not kind, and you'll find them. So I kind of try to mind my own business when it comes to somebody else's practice. I mean, who am I to critique somebody else's practice? It's really none of my business. And I just, don't have the time. There are so many people who want to give you a thumbs down or want to tell you something is constructive criticism when they're just being fucking mean, or they're just puffing their chest, or it's a lot of ego. There is a lot of ego. And quite frankly, there's a little bit of ego in every channel, because you wouldn't be on this platform if there wasn't a little ego involved. But some people are just mean to each other. And, you learn to stop following them pretty quickly. Who are some community members that I look up to, that are reliable resources and aspirations? Okay, so there's people I watch just for entertainment, who I don't give a grain of salt about how they practice or how they do things. But sometimes they make me laugh, they entertain me. Who are some of the community members that inspire me or who have really good information? The first one is Candy Soul and Soil. I could listen to her all the live long day. I love her channel. I love her thoughts. She has such a beautiful channel. Lennon Smith. Okay, Lennon Smith. I could listen to her ramble all day long. She doesn't necessarily teach, nor does Candy, but they have such wonderful things to share with us. Of course, Jasmine Ambrosia. She is such a young woman who goes after what she wants in life. She sees what she wants, she goes for it, and does it. Somebody who has really good information on like the planetary stuff, like the full moons, the new moons. Tara at Rising Phoenix has wonderful information about the moon phases. There's so many wonderful content creators that I can't even begin to just pick and choose a few of them. But the ones I've mentioned here are awesome. And I think that's it, you guys. Wow, it's a long tag, and I think I've been sitting in here for, I don't know, an hour. So hopefully the video won't be that long, but we'll see. Did I say a lot? Any further thoughts, comments, etc.? I love being a content creator here on YouTube. I love the people I've met. I love the support I get. I love the engagement. If it wasn't worth it to me, if I didn't have that, I wouldn't do it. And I think there's so many wonderful new channels that I think we need to lift up and support. It's not easy to start a channel. These tags are a wonderful way to start a channel. And that's how I've found some newer content creators as well through the last few tags. There's been quite a few tags this year so far, and I've done a few, and it's usually not something I do. I don't often do tag videos. I just do my vlogs usually. But it is a wonderful way to get to know the people in this community. I guess I don't have any further thoughts other than I hope you all have a wonderful day. Strive to be happy.